Dating back to the 17th century, roulette has a rich history. The game originated in France, and its name translates to little wheel in French. Blaise Pascal, a French mathematician, is often credited with inventing an early form of roulette while attempting to create a perpetual motion machine. However, it was not until the late 18th century that the modern version of roulette emerged, when the Blanc brothers introduced the single-zero roulette wheel in Germany, and it became known as European roulette. As the game spread throughout the world, different variations emerged, such as American roulette, which features an additional double-zero pocket on the wheel. Today, roulette is often portrayed in movies as a symbol of decadence and high-stakes gambling. Its inclusion in cinematic scenes serves to create an atmosphere of opulence, risk and glamour. Roulette can be played in land-based casinos, online casinos, and even mobile gaming platforms. Its appeal lies in the combination of chance and strategy, as players place bets on the outcome of a ball landing on a spinning wheel, creating moments of suspense and anticipation. In a series of videos, we are going to show you how to master roulette, from the basic rules, placing bets and calculating returns, through to the importance of bankroll, betting systems, and developing strategies. Then we will move on to advanced statistical analysis to help you understand how probability affects roulette, giving you the best opportunity to win consistently. Our focus for this series is how to play the online versions of roulette. Most of what you will learn applies to the offline versions as well, but it's not our intention to cover the finer details and etiquette of playing in a live environment. Today's video starts at the very beginning, how to play roulette. Then we familiarize ourselves with the table layout, looking at the roulette wheel, betting layout and racetrack. We will explain the difference between European and American roulette, why you should never play American roulette and the expected value of the game. Moving on, we will take a comprehensive look at the standard bets, how to place them, along with their odds and payouts. We will finish with the advantages and pitfalls to avoid when playing online versions of roulette. So let's get started. You can learn to play roulette on a basic level in seconds. It is as simple as playing a lottery. You choose numbers to bet on and hope the ball lands on one of them. Although unlike a weekly lottery, roulette games run continuously, day and night. Players can join or leave a roulette game whenever they wish, usually setting themselves time limits or budget constraints for their sessions, which can last from a few minutes to several hours. With hundreds of online casinos all offering numerous wheels to play, the range of options and opportunities to win or lose is staggering. And while roulette is easy to play, if you want to win consistently, win big, and win often, then there is a lot to learn in order to understand and master the hidden complexities of the game. Beyond the simple act of selecting a few numbers to bet on like you would a lottery, roulette offers infinite betting options. You can place very specific bets. You have the flexibility to bet on a single pocket or multiple pockets at the same time, and wager different amounts of money on different pockets or groups of pockets if you wish. This all affects your chance of winning and the amount you might win. When you join a table, you will usually have to wait for the last round to finish before you can place your bet. At that point, players have a brief time window to place their bets before the dealer starts the ball spinning again and announces no more bets. When you play online, most rounds take less than a minute from start to finish, and you only get about 15 to 20 seconds of betting time. To place bets quickly, understanding the betting table layout and helper tools like the racetrack is essential, so let's take a closer look. A roulette table can seem a little daunting at first glance, so let's walk through it starting with the betting layout. The betting layout is divided into two parts called inside bets and outside bets. You place your chips directly onto this layout to bet on specific numbers or groups of numbers. The outside areas allow you to place bets quickly on larger groups of numbers. Outside bets offer a higher chance of winning, but lower payout ratios compared to inside bets. Depending on the table's minimum bet requirements, which we will discuss later in the series, you can usually cover outside bets with a single chip when playing online, spreading your wager equally over 12 or 18 pockets. For example, to bet on the third dozen, even if the table requires a 5-chip minimum stake for outside bets, it's still cheaper and easier to use the outside bets, instead of placing a chip on every number in that group. And although a cheaper bet means lower returns, cheaper bets become important when we look at progressive betting techniques later in the series. Of course, If you wanted to place one chip on each number in a group to get a specific return, then you can still make use of the outside areas for the sake of speed. Depending on the available chip sizes, you should be able to place the equivalent of 12 chips with fewer mouse clicks by using larger chips. This saves you precious betting time. The inside betting area offers a great deal of flexibility. Chips can be placed almost anywhere, not just onto single numbers. All the dividing lines around the numbers have meanings, and carefully placed chips can cover up to 6 pockets at a time. As always, the more pockets you cover, the better chance you have of winning, but the payouts will be smaller. Unlike the outside bets, the inside layout will allow you to configure uneven bets, potentially resulting in some jackpot numbers with other numbers acting as insurance. The possibilities are endless. However, that's too advanced for today. We haven't finished covering the basic bets yet. Let's consider the racetrack for a minute. The racetrack allows you to place bets that correspond directly to the way the pockets are arranged on the wheel. If you look at the wheel, the pockets seem almost random in their placement. They are not as random as they may seem, but more about that later. Like the outside betting area, the racetrack allows you to place bets quickly, but instead of covering a group of numbers with a single chip, it places multiple chips onto the inside of the betting layout for you. These are called neighbor bets. The amount of chips placed will depend on your current settings. For example, if your neighbor setting is 3, then the online software will place a chip for the number you clicked on, and the 3 numbers either side of it, placing a total of 7 chips. The number of chips the racetrack places is always an odd number, and most online versions will allow you to place from 3 to 19 chips at a time. Be careful if you have been using larger valued chips for outside bets, as the racetrack will use your currently selected chip value when placing your bet. In the center of the racetrack, there are 4 other bets you can make, often called exotic bets. These bets are all different in terms of their odds, the number of chips required, and their returns. Apart from tier, they are all uneven bets, so depending on which number wins, your return can vary. We are going to cover all the standard bets in detail, including their odds and payouts, but there is one more essential thing we must discuss first, as it affects the odds and payouts of every bet you place, and that's the difference between American and European roulette. So, let's do that now. Roulette is classified as a negative expectation game. That means that the expectation for players is to lose money over time. So the casino has an advantage, which is often referred to as the house edge. How big the house edge is depends on if you are playing European roulette or the American version. The European wheel has a total of 37 pockets, 18 red, 18 black, and 1 green pocket for 0. The American version has 38 pockets due to the extra green 00 pocket. The order of the pockets is different, but not important. Despite the difference in the amount of pockets, the payout rate of 35-1 on a single pocket bet is the same for both versions. Hopefully it's obvious that with an additional pocket yet same payout rate, the player has less chance of winning on an American wheel. What isn't obvious is that this 1 pocket difference almost doubles the house edge. Let's look at the chance of winning. The European wheel offers a 1 in 37 chance of winning, or 2.70 chance in percentage terms, while the American wheel, on the other hand, presents a 1 in 38 chance of winning, or 2.63 chance in percentage terms. The chance of winning in percentage terms doesn't seem like much of a difference, but let's look at how the house edge alters. Remember, a positive house edge is the negative expectation for the player. Let's illustrate this with a hypothetical game. Imagine placing a chip on every pocket. You are now guaranteed to win, but at a loss. On the European layout, you'd place 37 chips to win back 36. In comparison, on the American layout, you'd place 38 chips to win back 36. Using the complementary probability formula and multiplying it by 100 to get a percentage, we can see how the house edge, or from the player's perspective, negative expectation has almost doubled. Therefore, your first golden rule should be to avoid American roulette. From this point forward, all calculations, systems, and strategies in this series are exclusively based on the 37-pocket European version of roulette. Now we can focus on the odds and payouts for each type of bet you can place. We're going to run through the standard bets as quickly as possible. These become important later in the series when we design systems and strategies from the ground up. You can download a PDF with all of this information from the free members area on our website. There is a link in the description below. First up is the straight bet. There are, of course, 37 bets available. To make a straight bet, place one or more chips on a number. All pockets are equal. You can bet on one or more pockets from 0 to 36 at the same time. If any of your covered pockets wins, you will get 36 chips returned for each chip you placed on the winning number. All other single bets will be lost. The split bet covers 2 pockets with 1 chip. There are 60 different split bets available to play. You place 1 chip on any line between 2 pockets. If either number wins, you will get 18 chips returned for each chip placed on that split. All other split bets will be lost, unless they are connected to the winning number. For example, the number 8 could have 4 split bets placed on it: 5 and 8, 7 and 8, 8 and 9 and 8 and 11. If 8 won, you would get paid for all 4 splits, which in that example would be 72 chips. The street bet covers 3 pockets with 1 chip, and there are 12 bets available. Place 1 or more chips covering 3 pockets. If any number wins, you will get 12 chips returned for each chip placed on that street. All other street bets will be lost. By placing 3 separate street bets, you cover 9 pockets, giving you an almost 25% chance of winning and a return of 4 times your bet value. A corner bet covers 4 pockets, and there are 22 bets you can choose from. Place 1 or more chips covering 4 pockets. If any number wins, you will get 9 chips returned for each chip placed on that corner. All other corner bets will be lost, unless they are connected to the winning number. Similar to the split bet example earlier, which partly covered 5 numbers, placing a chip on each corner of the number 23 partly covers 9 pockets, giving you a 36 chip return on 23, an 18 chip return on numbers 20, 22, 24 and 26, as well as a 9 chip return on numbers 19, 21, 25 and 27. Remember though, not all pockets have the same number of corners available. The line bet covers 6 pockets, and there are 11 ways to place a line bet. Place 1 or more chips covering 6 pockets. If any number wins, you will get 6 chips returned for each chip placed on that line. All other line bets will be lost unless they are connected to the winning number. Placing multiple line bets next to each other increases your chance of winning. For example, imagine placing 3 chips, 1 each on line 10, line 13 and line 16. You now have over 32% chance of winning with 3 chips. Your payout would vary depending on which pocket won, with numbers 13 to 18 returning 12 chips, and numbers 10, 11, 12, 19, 20, and 21 returning 6 chips. At the 0 end of the table, there are a few extra bets, the first being an extra line bet called the 0 line. This covers 4 pockets, so it has exactly the same payout and odds as a corner bet. The last bet type you can place on the inside layout is the 0 triple, and there are 2 of these you can play, and covering 3 pockets each, they are exactly the same as playing a street bet. As we have just seen, any bets with the same number of pockets where your wager is spread equally will always result in the same payout and probability of winning as any other similar size bet. For instance, consider the dozen and column bets, which cover 12 pockets each. Both of these have the same payout and chance of winning. Similarly, high-low, odd-even and red-black bets, which encompass 18 numbers, also have consistent payouts and chances of winning. Those last 3 bets are often referred to as even money bets, as they offer a 1-to-1 payout. The even money bets are often the focus of betting systems, although later in the series when we explore betting systems and progressions, you will find that bigger is not always better when deciding on how many numbers to cover. If you are on a table with a higher minimum chip value for outside bets, you can still play the high-low and dozen bets at a lower cost by playing multiple line bets with minimum value chips. Using multiples of line and street bets also gives you the flexibility to create hundreds of different 12 or 18 pocket bets instead of being limited to the few standard outside bets. This will help you design variants into betting systems, which is important and often overlooked. The racetrack provides even more ways of making groups of equal-sized bets, and it's much easier to include the 0 pocket in the mix, which is excluded from all of the outside bets. Betting on a set of 9 pockets would give you almost 25% coverage, or you could create an even money, 18 pocket bet, by using 2 sets of 9 at the same time. You could of course use the 3 neighbours setting and click 4 times to create your own dozen equivalents, covering 12 pockets, with a 32.4% chance of winning. It's mind-boggling to think that just by altering 4 sets of 3 around the racetrack like this, you could create over 1 million different bets. We won't need 1 million different bets when we start designing our own systems, But we will need more than the outside bets have to offer, so a good understanding of how you can use the racetrack will be important. The first exotic bet we look at is tier. This is the only exotic bet to have an equal wager, using 6 splits, covering 12 pockets, so it is the same as placing 6 chips on one of the column or dozen outside bets. We will be using tier as an example when we look at sequence betting systems later in the series. The orphelins bet is an uneven wager consisting of straight and split bets. Calculating your return may seem challenging, but creating a table and working through it simplifies the process. Over time, you can expect to receive the average amount, as sometimes you will receive 18 chips and sometimes 36 chips for a 5-chip wager. Voisins is the biggest of the exotic bets, using 9 chips and covering 17 pockets. It's close to being an even money bet. One thing to note about this bet is it also covers all of the zero section as well. As you can see, we have used a table to work out its average return and chance of winning. Zero is the smallest exotic bet, covering just 7 pockets. In addition to covering zero itself, the bet includes 3 pockets from column 2, 26, 32 and 35, and 3 pockets, 3, 12 and 15, from column 3, so it can be useful played alongside column 1, or as an insurance bet for other outside bets. But we will talk more about insurance later in the series. So we have covered all the standard bets and briefly touched upon calculating returns for complex bets with the last 3 examples of exotic bets. For those who want to explore more, we have provided further complex bet examples in the downloadable PDF. And additionally, there is an Excel spreadsheet you can download to assist you in trying similar calculations on your own. If you are a new player, focusing on the standard bets should be sufficient for now. Designing, calculating and utilising complex bets may appear a step too far. However, this series is designed to cater to players of all skill levels. Nevertheless, it's good for everyone to know that complex bets are an option and where to look if you want to revisit the subject. Now let's move on to the last topic for today, the advantages and pitfalls to avoid playing roulette online. There are significant advantages to playing roulette online. Firstly, there are the undeniable convenience factors, such as playing in your pajamas from home, or more importantly, to make profits as a side hustle or full-time income, you don't waste any time or money traveling. Physical casinos often present chaotic and noisy environments, with hindrances such as waiting for an available spot at a roulette table and difficulties in placing your chips due to crowding. Online playing mitigates these issues. Playing at a physical venue may lead to feeling pressured to bet continuously, as you might not be permitted to occupy a seat without frequent wagering. Moreover, the game's speed in a live setting can fluctuate significantly due to the dealer's need to accommodate new players, convert cash into chips, and cash out players. These activities consume valuable time. Playing roulette online allows you to set your own pace. You have the freedom to play at a speed that suits you. Another advantage of online roulette is the accessibility it offers. You can access the game 24 hours a day, from anywhere, if online gambling is permitted where you are. This flexibility allows for shorter, regular gaming sessions, rather than committing to a lengthy trip to a physical casino. The sheer number of online casinos available is astounding. Each casino typically offers multiple roulette wheels with varying minimum and maximum bet levels. This variety expands further to include live dealer, automated mechanical wheels, and computer-simulated versions, many with different spins per hour rates. This variety ensures that you can find a roulette game that meets specific criteria. The criteria you choose for finding a table may change over time, and the reasons for this become apparent when we design systems and strategies in the next video. Maintaining a live dealer for a limited number of players in a traditional casino is costly, leading to higher minimum bets. In comparison, the live dealer online tables have no player limits, so the operational costs are distributed over hundreds of players, allowing the casino to offer lower minimum stakes, making the games accessible to a broader audience. Online platforms usually have more flexible betting limits. As with many players betting simultaneously, it reduces the risk of losses for the casino and increases their profits. To attract more players, online casinos often provide enticing sign-up bonuses. However, caution is advised, as these bonuses often come with complicated wagering rules and can create unnecessary distractions. It might sound odd, but it is often best to decline them and play with your own unencumbered funds. Additionally, to entice, some online casinos offer play money tables for practice. It's important to note that these tables typically utilize software-based, random number-generated games, rather than providing an authentic casino wheel. Most of those points are obvious, but to master roulette and remain profitable, what you need the most is control. The casino websites use gaming interfaces from a handful of providers, so you will find similar or even the same roulette games on different sites. In this series, we will be looking at the interface from Evolution, which in our opinion is the easiest to navigate and use. This is just a brief overview of the software for now. For a detailed look, please see the link below to our video on navigating online roulette games. There are many things you can do playing online that you can't do in a real casino. Firstly, we are going to switch to classic view as it's less distracting. Any bet you make can be stored for later use, giving you an easy way to repeat bets. You can double a bet with one button, undo and move chips about. The ability to switch between chip values comes in useful for progressive bets, which we will discuss in the next video. You have access to a lot of information on what has happened in the game. You can view the last 500 results in a number of different ways. The main point of this Mastering Roulette series is to understand the data. Yes, we will teach you to understand betting systems and design your own, but the real advantage is understanding when to use them. So playing online gives you the opportunity to monitor data, not just the information on screen. You can build upon the data provided, calculating opportunities and making better predictions. The online versions of roulette include speed roulette, so you will see more results per hour. A common mistake players make is betting on every spin. Often it's better to wait, calculate an opportunity, and bet when the time is right. A faster table will give you more results to analyze in less time. In addition to this, it is also possible to monitor multiple wheels at the same time looking for opportunities. These things help you to save time while generating greater profits. So we have looked at some of the benefits of playing roulette online, but are there any negatives or pitfalls we should consider? It shouldn't be a surprise that not all online casinos are fair or equal. To avoid unscrupulous casinos, do some research before signing up. Online casinos have to be regulated. Who regulates the operator will depend on where you are playing from. In the UK, it is the responsibility of the Gambling Commission to license such companies. Reputable companies will display their license details in the small print at the bottom of the website, so take the time to check them out. Furthermore, review sites like Trustpilot are a good place to look, as well as independent websites like Casino Guru and Wizard of Odds. The links to these are in the description below. Some casinos are slow to pay you back. You can deposit your funds instantly, but if you want to withdraw your funds and any winnings, it can take days for the money to reach your account. Again, check with online review sites, as this is often one of the factors they look at in a review. Most casinos show the list of gaming providers included in their website. The top live dealer roulette providers are Evolution, Pragmatic, Playtech and Authentic Gaming, so it's worth checking the list to avoid low-quality games. RNG or random number-generated games are difficult to test. We therefore recommend you steer clear of pure software-driven games, as although the RTP or return-to-player value matches European roulette, you're basically playing a slot machine. There are also some fake live dealer-style roulette games that use a pre-recorded dealer. The result is generated by the RNG, and they play the relevant clip of the dealer spinning a ball that lands on a specific result. We don't understand why these versions even exist, and we avoid them. There are a number of roulette variations where the casinos have literally tried to reinvent the wheel, with names like Double Ball Roulette or Jet Set Racing Roulette. These games often have different payouts to standard European roulette, so always check the payout table matches the payouts that we looked at earlier in this video. Gambling of all types can be addictive, and no matter how you play, you are likely to experience winning and losing streaks at some point. The winning streaks can cause you to play more, as adrenaline or greed can take over, and a losing streak may lead you to play more, trying to recoup your losses. It's an easy trap to fall into, and playing alone, online for long periods of time can amplify this problem. We hope you never succumb to these issues, and this entire course is designed to help you stay profitable. However, if you fall into this trap, there are a number of things you can do. In your casino account settings, you should be able to limit the amount of time you can play for, limit the amount you can deposit, or exclude yourself from the site for a period of time. In addition to this, you can seek help from other sources. In the UK, we have organisations such as Gamblers Anonymous, Be Gamble Aware and GamStop. You can search for similar groups where you are. The best advice we can give you if you are going to gamble is never commit funds to a gambling account that you cannot afford to lose, and start small. Increase your bankroll slowly. When you are in profit, withdraw your original deposit. Then you are playing with the casino's money, not your own.